Hey everyone, this is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios here. How you doing? Welcome to another Swords and Sandals developer update. And I've got some cool kind of noir style vertical blind sunlight beams. That's kind of excellent. It really adds to the atmosphere here. All right, this week I got nothing to show you. I'm sorry. I almost show you some weapons, but I figured let's just wait a little longer. The trailer will be coming soon. I'm just putting stuff together for the trailer as we speak, actually. I want to have a few different things to show off in the trailer. And so the first of those, what we're talking about today, and the subject of the little tagline there, their little picture, is taunts. Rah! You know the taunt, the classic Swords and Sandals style vocal attack that can bleed a man's ears to death with a simple yell, or even make their heart pop out, or them chop in half, that kind of thing. Taunts are back in Swords and Sandals 6. They never really went away. Swords and Sandals Immortals almost called it Swords and Sandals 6. The cool thing about taunts is in this game, there's not just a taunt. You're going to have 4 different taunts. That's as we speak right now. You'll have mock, which is the classic taunt. You'll have intimidate, you'll have boast, and you will have threaten. And now each one will do a different thing. I haven't worked out exactly what they do yet, but it may be one of them sort of saps the other guy's morale. One of them forces them either to rush at you or flee. One of them actually does physical damage, and the fourth one boosts your own morale and which sort of plays into that battle rage kind of meter, which I was talking about earlier. And there are still a lot of systems that I'm working on in the game, and they all don't synergize quite perfectly yet. Part of that is putting the systems in place and figuring out where the synergies lie and what skills complement others and that kind of thing. But what we have for the taunts now is the animation. You press the button and you see this cool shockwave now. So I don't know if you played games like Diablo or other games where you see this sort of sonic boom style wave, and it makes the whole screen kind of look like it's waving. That is a nice shader effect that I now have in Swords and Sandals Immortals when you taunt, and it'll probably happen in a few other cool abilities as well. It looks really nice. It's like this sort of sonic boom when you press the taunt button. The taunt is actually part of the theatrics tree now. So your character's main radial menu will have 12 buttons on it, and each one corresponds to various attacks and resting and jumping, walking. It also has 3 buttons on there for warfare skills, arcane skills, and theatrics skills. Warfare skills, of course, being things like your various bone-shattering attacks and different swordplay techniques. The arcane one is your fireballs and lightning bolts and so on. And the theatrics tree will be to do with not just taunts, but guitar-based attacks. And sort of anything to do with charisma will fall into that tree. And you'll be able to upgrade that tree and make charisma a formidable weapon. There's always a risk that it gets overpowered, and that's what the balance of this game will be all about. We don't want any one of those trees to be more overpowering than any other trees. But I've had a bit of fun putting the taunts into the game, and I don't want it to be like the original where you spam taunt, spam taunt, spam taunt. There will be protections from taunts and that kind of thing. And there may even be magic spells to silence enemies. So I'll be working on that. And also the effectiveness of the taunt will be lessened the further away you are, but there'll probably be abilities to amplify your taunt, that kind of thing. So I'll be working on that. Instant coffee break. Wouldn't be an Oliver Joyce video without an instant coffee break. So the other thing I've been working on this week has been projectiles and ranged weapon attacks. This is going to be a mixture of Swords and Sandals 2 and Swords and Sandals 3, like most of the game, but leaning more heavily in favor of Swords and Sandals 2, in that you will have a limited number of projectile weapon attacks in any given battle. What I mean by that is you'll have an ammo amount. So when you buy a bow or a phaser or that kind of thing, or auto cannon, whatever kind of weapon it is, you'll have a limited amount of capacity for shooting them in battle. You go into battle, you might be able to shoot 5 arrows, just 5, but you'll be able to upgrade your quiver through various means, and you get 15, 20, 25 arrows. And the same with the gun type weapons, and you'll be able to upgrade the sort of the ammo pack for those. So when you invest more money and so on into those weapons and more of the talent tree into that, you'll be able to upgrade those. So they may be talents, they may be items you purchase. I haven't figured it out yet, but you won't be having an unlimited ranged character, and I want that to be the case, because it's no fun in games when slow characters have no advantage against fast characters with bows, because they'll just be able to constantly be peppering you from a distance. I want them to run out. And in conjunction with that, you'll be able to switch weapons during a battle. So you'll be able to take a ranged weapon and a melee weapon into each battle, which is, I think, very important. What I also want is for you to be able to set those weapons in the beginning of the battle. There'll be a little button saying, showing you what your current melee weapon, your current range weapon is. Tap on that, you'll be able to maybe sub that out for a different one. If, for example, you're going up against a character that is more susceptible to fire, more vulnerable to fire, you might want to switch in the flamethrower and that kind of thing. One other thing I wanted to talk about quickly to do with range weapons is guns. There will be phasers and bolters and autocannons, big space-looking guns, and rail guns that shoot particles and stuff. What there won't be is classic modern era weapons, things like AK-47s and pistols and things. And this is going to sound, maybe a little reactionary and for lack of a better term, woke. I don't really like that term, but there's enough real gun violence in the world without me adding to it I don't really want to glorify real guns if I can avoid it. It's more fun to just have fantasy characters, fantasy weapons. You know what I mean? It's something that feels a little dirty to me about using, the same machine guns that you see in all the horrific, gun violence we see in the world. So yeah, there will be guns, just not the ones that you found in Swords and Sandals 3. What else? Projectiles. So arrows and things like that now have physics on them, which is really cool. So when you shoot, the arrow flies through the air. It can actually bounce off the ground and roll, hit the character. They can put the shield up. It bounces off them, that kind of thing. If it hits them, it does damage. But it has basic rigid body physics on them. Same with the armor. When that gets knocked off and broken, and bounces off. So I think that's a cool addition. I'm finishing that off right now, actually. And I don't know, it's sort of near the end of the day. I don't know if we get it done today, but sometime early next week, we should have that done. And I'm looking forward to getting that in the game. Right now, it makes the ranged weapons feel a lot more fun than they used to back in the Sword and Sandals early days, and certainly in Sword and Sandals 2 Redux. Ranged weapons weren't a lot of fun, and they were not that, strategic. But now you can shoot at the head, you can shoot at the torso and the legs and that kind of thing in the arms, just like with melee weapons. So you'll be able to aim those, and you'll have a chance to miss. One other thing, this is a very stream of consciousness style video, sorry, it must be the coffee, but melee attacks based on your attack stat and your defense stat. Your chance to hit is based on those two, but ranged attack will be based on your agility. So your chance to hit is your agility, and your chance to defend is your agility, which kind of makes sense because you dodge, and how agile you are is sort of almost how coordinated you are too. I've sort of lumped those in together, and you line up a target from distance, you hit them from distance. So that at the moment is how those two play out, because I don't want you feeling like the agility stat is only for running and jumping. I want these stats to be a little bit more multi-purpose, and like I said, having synergies with the different strategies in the game. Well, that is it for today. That was take a breath. Whew. That's it for today in the latest Swords and Sandals Immortals Still getting used to saying that. Developer update. I'm working on the logo. I've got my artist Bokimi working on that right now, and in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to unveil that logo, and hopefully by the end of the month we may have a trailer, although it may roll into August. But then once that happens, we have to wishlist the game and get things rolling. I've got a guy teamed up with called Christopher Brown, who is a fantastic developer from America, who will be helping me with the multiplayer side of things. And he's now investigating how Godot works with multiplayer, and we'll be looking to basically replicate the multiplayer from Swords and Sandals 3. So you'll be able to play as from all around the world. And that was always going to be the plan for this game, and I'm really excited about that. So I'll tell you more about that once I know more. All right, it's almost the end of the week, and I hope you guys have a brilliant weekend. And until next time, bye for now.